Be the change. Be the change. Today, just for today, love yourself a little bit more. Be a little bit more accepting for all the mistakes and all the things that have happened in your life. Be just a little bit less judgmental to yourself. Be your own best friend. Like if you are your own best friend, you want yourself to grow and you want yourself to have a good life. You want yourself to be loved. You want yourself to know how amazing you are because you're such a good friend. And you want yourself to know all these things within. If you have faith in something greater than yourself, if you can imagine that, having faith in something greater than yourself, and knowing deep within that you always were, you always will be, and you always are fully accepted the way you are. The reason why you might want to do some work on yourself is to improve. It's your best friend saying to yourself, I think your life would be easier if you let that go. I think your life would feel better if you allowed this to come into your life. I think your life would mean more if you did some of these things. And that's you talking to yourself, showing yourself the way and praying about it. Ask, how can I improve my situation? How can I become a better version of myself? Pray about it, and you'll get little tips and clues and answers, and everything will pop up in the world around you. I wanted to do a little love message today, and I wanted to look to singles, married, and situationships. And today I'm going to use a new deck that I got, which is called Elemental Empath Oracle by Miyoku Rose. And so, let's check it out. So we got single, married, and let's see, Great Spirit, Father God, the boss of all things. What is the message that you want to convey to single people out there? And what is the message that you want to convey to married people out there? And what is the message that you want to convey to situationships people out there? And let's see. Singles, married, situationships. Okay. Singles, perspective, evaluate beliefs, bird's eye view. So see yourself from the outside of yourself. Bird's eye view, observe your reactions. This is like to the single people out there. However you feel when you hear like single people, do you feel sadness? Do you feel anger? Do you feel jealousy, resentment? Do you feel love? Do you feel okay? And it's just, it is what it is. How do you feel? These are triggers. These are your messengers. Observe your reactions. Married people, earth and grounding. Calm the mind, connect to the body, and mindfulness and nature. And then we have for situationships people, letting go, timing, forgive self and others, process emotions. Process emotions, letting go. Then let's see here, I want to use these ones, the romance cards. Little bitty romance cards here. And itty bitty love cards. Love cards. It's all about the love. And it all starts with the self-love. Self-love? Are you kidding me? I'm not doing that. That would be me before. I'm not doing that. When I look at myself, I feel so little. I feel so shamed. I feel so guilty. I feel so bad about myself that I would not even look at it for one bit. It was the gift, the dark gift that I got from growing up. And once you know it's a gift, you can flip it into looking at all these things, looking at your triggers, looking at all these things, and then changing them and taking your power back completely, which is, yeah, awesome to be able to do that. Spiritual infusion, 1111. The Queen of Love Messages. Neon Awakening. Let's see. Married. Situationship. Can be so many things. All right, let's unpack this thing. So we got, for single people, perspective. How do you look at yourself being single? Are you okay with it? Do you feel like that it's okay? It's an empowerment. You're able to stand in your own 2 feet. You're able to love yourself. You're able to care for yourself. You're able to go out and get the flowers and make it look nice. You're able to go out and eat if you want to do that. You're able to do the things that you want to do, that you would want to do with a romantic partner, should you have one, and being by yourself, able to enjoy your life and enjoy your time all on your own. Perspective. How do you look at it? Do you look at it as lacking something, or do you look at it as full in itself? Flirt. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. So that's a encouragement. What kind of beliefs do you hold in regards to flirting with others, or to gaining attention, to try and attract attention? What kind of perspective do you have on that? What is your thoughts around that? Okay, so here's someone here for the single person who's saying, you are mine. I'm not kidding. You're mine. That's the message. I get so pissed knowing other people can have you now. Is it toxic? Yeah, I don't care. I want the world to know that you are mine. Okay, so you might not be, though, single for that long. Being flirtatious, perhaps you took your little flirting abilities out to the world, and perhaps you're out there checking someone out there, maybe. And the person saying, you are mine, or perhaps this is someone that you have your eye on, and you're like, you are mine. I don't care. Nobody else is going to get you. You are mine. And that's like confidence. And yep. Look at the Emperor. So there's a father, a leader, boss, moneymaker, conqueror, head of a household, a decision maker, wise counsel. So maybe you're attracting in someone like that with those qualities. Flirting, extending your lightheartedness. If you bring in an emperor, they might need a little lightheartedness because they can come out sometimes a little stern, serious, a little bit serious. So we're going to take it very seriously here and present ourselves in a very good way. And then you can come in with your lightheartedness, your flirtiness, and changing perspectives and see things from a bird's eye view, like from the outside and in. The Tower. Catastrophe, rebuilding, liberation, unforeseen events, destruction. So this might be someone who's coming in with just the words or not taking action on it. Perhaps this is in your mind. Sometimes single people, we can be like having all this romance going up in our head, in our imaginary world. And it's all good, but we avoid the changes that it would bring into our life to make the decision to go there, which is nothing wrong with it. But then it's going to stay in a flirt. It's going to stay in a wish. It's going to stay in the mind or in the heart. Unless, of course, you choose to abandon or choose to invite someone into your singledom, and then you can have someone in your life there with you. You don't have to be all enwrapped in each other and doing all kinds of everything mushed together. Now we're going to be codependent for life, and we have to do everything together, and we have to talk about we like this and this and this. Or you can be like Leonard Cohen says, be alone. Let's be alone together. Let's see if we are that strong. And being alone together, it simply means that you stay with your own authentic self. You bring your own authentic self into the mix. And the other person brings their own authentic self, their own identity, their own personality, their own who they are into the mix. And there are two people alone by themselves, authentically by themselves, but together, side by side, doing things together, supporting one another, having fun together. And the Three of Cups. Friendship. Sometimes the best love connections can start as friendships. There might be a reunion coming in, collaborations, and emotional outbreak. This can be like the Tower, or this can be like, how do you react to these things too? Single people, like sometimes it's very difficult. If you've been single for a long time, then it's very difficult to manage all the emotions that is going to come up within you when you start to go into a relationship. And so, how do you feel? Look at the triggers and work with them so that you don't bring any self-sabotaging things into the connection. You don't want to bring any unworthiness into the connection. You want to trust that the other person know who they are and they're choosing you because it's you. And you want to be your own best friend, and you want to say that I am lovable, I am worthy, and I can handle this. I can handle it. And claim it if love is what you are looking for. And if not, then you can just stay true to yourself, stay with yourself, be out there having fun, enjoying life. Married people. Married people, earth and grounding. Calm the mind, connect to body, mindfulness, and nature. Perhaps if someone needs to go camping or do something on a vacation together, or maybe just sit together outside and meditate, or perhaps like do something odd, like be quiet together, just sit there and look each other in the eyes, or get to know each other again, or like ground in the nature and then be there together in a new way to bring some newness and grounding into the relationship. And maybe also to think about that there are two people in this mix, and two people are two people. It's not one person. Two people are two people, and they have all the stuff going on inside. So finding the allowing the self to be there also in a marriage that has maybe been there for a long time. Perhaps you've been in this union for a long time, and sometimes we need a little refresher. Sometimes we might just need to ground it, bring it back to here. Perhaps everything has been up in the mind. You're always doing something. You always have something to do. You got to run for the kids. You got to pick up this. You got to make the food. You got to go to work. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to pick up these. Got to do that. There's so many things that goes with having a family like that. And so if both people are completely up in their mind about it, not the relationship necessarily, but just life around being married, like making ends meet and doing all the things that you got to do to make things work. Grounding yourself can be like just being together, grounding without planning anything, without worrying about what happened before or bringing up the old resentments or the old anger. None of that. Bringing peace into the moment and being together in a peace. Okay, so there is to pay attention to the red flags. Red flags can be with a person. Red flags can also be in the relationship. Like the relationship can have red flags. Perhaps you're not talking anymore. Perhaps there's no intimacy anymore. Perhaps there is no adventure anymore. Perhaps there is no excitement anymore. These are all red flags for a dying relationship. And so if you want to keep your relationship alive, then grounding yourself in your body, be present, clear the mind, be present, feel one another, sense one another, like be together in a sensual way that maybe you haven't done in like years because you've always been planning all the stuff and keeping the family together and keeping everything working out. And then all of a sudden, God gives you a new opportunity to like ground yourself within yourself, be your own best friend, and then share together. You're my favorite. This is perfect. Like when you're married to your favorite person, that's got to be awesome. You are the person I want to call when something good or bad happens. The first thought when I have news to share You are my person. So you already found your person. You're already with your person. You're already in a community or a communion with your person. How can you ground yourself and look at whatever red flags? Maybe sometimes even there can be competition between the two. Like, who is better at doing this? I clean the kitchen better than you do. No, I do that better. I do that better than you do. And then there can be like secret competitions going on, which is very probably going to have a sparkling clean kitchen, but it might be draining on the relationship, right? And so sitting down, maybe sitting down in the nature somewhere, writing a gratitude list. So I am grateful for this for you. This is something that you add to my life that I'm very grateful for. This is something that I would wish that we could do together. How do you feel about that? Would that be something that you would like to do? Does it kick in any kind of excitement when I say it? Not just like, oh, well, you're my favorite person, so I'm going to do everything you suggest, and then I'm just going to tag along. I don't know. I don't care. It's the same for me. I don't know. I don't care. I'll just tag along. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? Then there's one person in the relationship that is very unbalanced, imbalanced, and also a very huge red flag, like cape. I'm wearing a cape now. I lost all my identity. I lost all my personality. I don't know what to do. I don't know what I want. I don't know anything. I just want to lean on you. You do everything, and then I'll just tag along and pay the bills. And then maybe you can bring yourself together in somewhere. Go on a camping trip, something that you've never done. Sleep in a tent outside somewhere, or sit on the beach, or sit in the woods, or the mountains, or wherever you live. Bring a picnic basket, sit there and have a little notebook where you can have like gratitude stuff, things that we love about each other, or things that we are grateful for in this relationship, and building. Grounding. Got Five of Pentacles. See, being alone in a relationship sucks. Like, that is definitely also a very big red flag. Big red flag. If you feel alone and you're married and you still feel alone, there's no connection there. And if there's no connection there, then you are alone in the relationship. You might have a automatic bill payer or automatic grocery shopper, but there's no union there. There's no connection there. Then it's going to be a sad, like, losing, and you're going to lose your self love, like your confidence within yourself too, when the other person, when they're it's not working. It's a spiral down. So how can you bring back what you had in the beginning of the relationship? You are my favorite. How can you show this, talk about this to one another? Page of Swords. Curious, quick-witted, intelligent, nosy, stalker, watching everything, message. This is someone a little bit immature, curious, nosy, want to know everything, passionate, curious, exciting, like, whoa, want to try new things. And this is in the reverse. So this is someone who maybe have lost the spark, the passion within. And if you have, it's not that big of a deal. It's just like, how can you bring it back? How can you bring it back so you can enrich your life, you can enrich your partner's life, and you can enrich the union that you have together in this relationship? And Four of Cups, boredom, unhappiness, jealousy, comparison, not getting what you want, and imaginary conflict. Not talking together, then and also, if you don't keep it fun in the relationship, yeah, it's going to be boring. Of course it's going to be boring, and then you're going to even be stuck with a boring person, or you are the boring person and then you have another boring person. You're both acting boringly. You're not really, that's not who you are. But sometimes we can do that behavior, we can have that behavior come out, being boring, and then what's exciting about that? That's a red flag in both parties. Then none of the two people in this relationship is taking responsibility for the relationship, for the union, to make some sparks, to bring it back up. How can you calm the mind, connect to your body, be mindful to one another, try and see one another, communicate with one another's soul on a soul level, like not the mask, the shield. And nature. I think marriage can be a beautiful thing. It can be so beautiful, so such a beautiful union. It can make things easier in your life. It can make you feel more secure. It can make you feel more like established and have this sense of safety in your life and all that stuff. And if you treat it like the precious union that it is, then you want to put some effort and some time and some. Most people, they plan like for maybe 20 years. They plan their wedding day. Ooh, it's going to be so nice. It's going to look like this. I'm going to look like that. We're going to have that many people. It's going to look like this. Everything is mapped out, and spend a lot of time on that. And then, like, who am I and who am I going to be in this marriage? What kind of energy am I bringing into this union? What is it that I can contribute with this person? What is it that we might have to work on with each other? How are we going to make this work for both of us so we can be happy in this new role that we're going to get? And most people don't spend that much time thinking about that, but it might be smart to do. That's what's coming through. Situationship. Situationships. Okay. Timing. Forgive self and others. Process emotions. Timing. Forgive yourself and others. When you forgive yourself, you're going to realize a lot of things. You are going to realize that nobody's perfect. You're going to realize that everybody makes mistakes. You're going to realize that, yeah, we all do stupid stuff. You're going to realize that, yeah, you can sit with it and you can feel it and you can let it go. Once you do this on yourself and you allow yourself to be a human on this planet Earth with all the good, the bad, and the ugly, then you are going to also be able to see those layers in other people, and you won't judge them. You won't hold them down. You won't blame them. You'll see it and you'll understand instead. You'll understand that, yeah, life sucks sometimes and it's challenging to be a person on planet Earth for everybody. Like, it's a long drawn out there and it's a lot of challenges being out here in the world, in the wilderness, as a soul trying to find its way, its purpose, when so many things are not aligned for the soul purpose to come through. So letting go, processing emotions, situationships, finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. So if you have financial issues, it can mean that you don't really have the time to think about the other person that much, because now you're trying to figure out how am I going to maintain my bills? How am I going to pay for the food? How am I going to do this? And then you got to go out there, you got to work for it. You got to do the things that you got to do in life to bring in what you need to maintain yourself. And sometimes that can be a lot of work. And so maybe you don't have that much time to focus on other people, because you have to bring your energy in and focus on yourself and do what you got to do to make your life work. Yep. And situationship over here is saying finding myself. So perhaps you have something going on with someone out there and you don't really have the time or the money or the energy, the resources to fool with it. And you're more focused on finding yourself. And that's not a bad thing to do. Like, that is probably the most valuable thing that you can do on this planet. Finding yourself, finding myself. It was time I went within and find myself again. I need to figure out what I want out of life. I need space. So here is someone who is finding themselves, letting go of all the attachments, perhaps also letting go of being codependent, understanding that you don't really need anybody else, but it's nice. You might want to have someone else in your life. It's a different story. But everybody is replaceable. Everybody can be lived without. Everybody can be lived with, well, for the most part. And so there are so many things. Finding yourself, letting go of every distractions, everything around, finding yourself. And sometimes you might have to just cut the little snippets of whatever situationship that you have around, or perhaps this situationship is something that will be maintainable. So then you can take the time that you need to find yourself. You can take the time that you need to build whatever safety that you need to build. And you can take the time to look at your triggers, look at your emotional reactions when in this situationship, and then you can see how are you triggered by it, how are you acting around it, and how does it make you feel. And now you can use it as a teacher, and you can go through a lot of emotional stuff, and you can let go of a lot of emotional stuff if you are looking within yourself while you are in this situationship with another person. And the high priestess is showing up. So this is an empath, secretive, all-knowing, hidden truth, metaphysical, healer, and unknown realms. Very intuitive. So situationship here is like using their intuition. Use your intuition. If you cannot really communicate right at the moment, use your intuition. The knowing, finding yourself. That's a great place to go to do. We got 9 of Wands. This is someone guarded, persistent, setbacks, need to do a final push, needing space to roam, can't really function within others, distance, tired. 9 of Wands, wounded warrior, victimized. So while you're out here letting go of being a victim, like let it go, like you are not a victim, like I am not a victim. Well, I was, you can take back your power. You can change your story. Maybe you are the victor. You are the victorious one. You overcame those things. So you're not the little person, the little victim that they wanted to create to make you into. Whenever, whatever happened to you that made you feel like you had to stand up and fight for yourself for them for a long, long time. And so you are not a victim. You are a victorious person because you're sitting here and you're in this situationship. You're working on your finances. You're looking within to find your stability within the core, within your soul, within. And that is, again, the best thing that you probably can do right while you're here on planet Earth. And it is also something that is going to connect you to the great divine. If you figure out how to stop your thoughts from taking control over everything in your life and always being present, once you quiet the mind, there you are aligned with God in the present moment, in the now. There, that's where you can spend time with the great divine. Finding yourself within, going within, use your intuition, figure it out. How can you stop being a victim and be the victorious one in your own life? Once you do that, the Chariot is here. This is your destiny. So whatever situationship you got going on here, it might be your destiny. This is why it takes a little while to be apart so that you can let things go on each end. And then you can figure out how to do what to do with your finances, career. It takes time to build stuff like that. Finding yourself, having the courage, being brave enough to sit there, close your eyes and be honest, truthfully honest with yourself. Hey, I'm looking within and I'm going to see what is in my bag over here that I've stuffed away for so long. And it might feel like hell, and it probably will feel like hell for a little bit, until you start chipping away on all that junk. And it's like losing 20 pounds for every time you poke a hole in one of those big stuff that you got in your bag that you're hauling with you. And being a victim is not going to take you anywhere than to create more things to be victim about. Yeah, I feel I'm such a victim. Okay, I'm going to chew you over there. So now you're a little bit more victim. Oh, I'm such a victim. Okay, I'm going to hit you in the head over there. So then now you're a little bit more victim. Or like, I am victorious. I overcame on all these things. I can stand in my own truth. I can stand in my authenticity. I'm still alive. I made it through. Now I'm going to find my inner strength. I'm finding myself. I'm using my intuition. And I'm getting in that chariot. And it's going to take you on a journey to your destiny. You and your person is going to be in the same direction. You're going to overcome obstacles. And it's a journey. And it might be your destiny. Esther and Abraham Hicks, the law of attraction, emotions. They say, this is how the scripting process works. Pretend that you are a writer. This goes for single people. This goes for married people. This goes for situationship people. Pretend that you are a writer and that whatever you write will be performed exactly as you write it. What kind of story do you want to write, single person? What kind of story do you want to write, couple, union? What's your story? Situationship person, what's your story? You are the writer, and whatever you write will be performed exactly as you write it. Your only job is to describe in detail everything exactly as you want it to be. A day of love. The beautiful light in me, it honors, it loves, and it respects the same beautiful light in you. Until next time, namaste.